We have been working with the Nature Conservancy to manage this threatened habitat. So this is by far and large the biggest project NRCS has ever worked on out of the Conway office. With the help of the Nature Conservancy, we came up with a great schedule of practices to manage this globally threatened habitat called the Pine Barrens.
What we did as part of the restoration actions was to dig up an old stump dump that had been used for decades, and we thought it would be a good idea to take this woody debris and bring it to this area and dump them in piles, and it's acting as kind of wind eddy where seeds from throughout the area are going to come here and they get captured and trapped in along with these stumps and the organic matter.
Some of the projects we funded in this WIP contract include prescribed burning, forest trails and landings, timber stand improvement to manage for pitch pine, restoration of threatened and declining habitats to manage overall to restore areas like this into pitch pine barrens habitat, early successional habitat management to open up areas such as this to manage for early successional habitat. It's been a huge success, a major success.
This habitat is really, it's necessary to have periodic burns because the pitch pine are immune to burns for the most part. They will survive the burns, whereas all the other species won't, and that's what makes these pitch pine barrens unique. Because of the burning that happens, the competition of other vegetation is burnt out. The pitch pine, scrub oak come back along with a lot of other ground vegetation, grasses and shrubs and forbs, and as a result there are some very unique species of birds and insects that thrive in this habitat and aren't found anywhere else. There's 2 moths that are only found in the Pine Barrens. So along with that, there's another 20 moths that are state listed as endangered.
What's special about this project is when I first started working here, that it was just incredibly barren, rocky, and it looked like nothing. On certain things that began to grow on me in terms of what was happening here, what was already growing here that you couldn't really see, and it's evolved since then, just the way things have grown, what I've been able to observe for plants, and so it's become kind of a favorite of mine. But a lot of it has been developed, and what we wanted to do with this area was where it had been impacted heavily through gravel extraction, mining. We wanted to try to bring it back as best we could to a natural community type, which is referred to as a pitch pine, scrub oak natural community.
And what we've been putting in is scrub oaks and pitch pines, and then we try to mix it in with some of the other species that are found in the natural communities surrounding the site.
We've had remarkable success in terms of the survival at very, very low mortality.
The Earth Team Volunteer Program has been a really large benefit to this really incredible project that we're doing here in the Ossipee Pine Barrens. Over the 13 years that the Earth Team volunteers with the Pequawka Valley Alternative School have probably planted in excess of about 15,000 trees total with the number of projects that they've worked on. It has really been a great thing for the contract itself, for the land, for the students, for the teachers, for Freiburg Academy, for NRCS. I can't really say enough good things about the great things that have come about as a result of it.
Andy Kearns and I work together, and it's really been a blessing to have someone like that I can work with, and we work so well together, and we really are a team, and the kids know that. I feel really blessed to have him as my partner. We have 14 a year, and usually we have 2 or 3 that leave in the semester. We service approximately 18 to 20 kids a year over the last 25 years. So they are learning about what it's like in the real world to take direction from people other than their teachers and be able to apply that to what they're doing.
We're rehabilitating the area full of trees, and then there's another area up the road that's it's an old gravel pit, and we're planting more pitch pine and blueberry tree plants and bushes, and we're rehabilitating the whole area. Planted, I think so far, like 600 or 700 trees. Well, you dig the hole, and then you put in a little bit of compost, and then you put in the tree, and then you put in a little bit more compost, and then you mix all the sand and compost around, and then you put like the sand, cover it back up, pat it all down, and you put mulch around it, and then you water it, and the mulch holds all the water in. Makes me feel good.
Hard workers, underestimated hard workers. It doesn't get boring, something new every day. I'm proud of these kids, you know. I know we've worked with the Nature Conservancy and the NRCS before, and so they know our groups work really well, but when we do other projects, we're usually pretty underestimated, and they are always pleasantly surprised at how well they do.
I am out here because I love being out in nature. It's my way of connecting to the world and relaxing, and it's my personal therapy, being outside. I would love to continue doing this with NRCS this summer and next year, because I'm hoping to be in Dee Dee's program and to continue here. And just, I don't know, the thought of planting trees and them growing, and it's just awesome.
I'm always impressed with the work ethic that the students have, and I think even more impressed with the learning opportunities that there are for the students. I live in the same town as where many of them live, and occasionally I run into them and they'll stop and talk to me about a project that was done like even 8 or 9 years ago, and they still remember it fondly and have really good things to say about how it kind of affected their life.
I'm out here planting trees. It's a good time. Knowing that in a couple years it's not going to be all desolated and scrubby. It's going to be nice and lively, and that makes me happy. Being in the sun for so long, it gets really hot, but it's worth it. I liked the program a lot because it was mostly hands-on, and that's where the way I learn. You make sure you don't cover the crown of the tree or else it'll suffocate, and you have to make sure it's not too deep or it's not too shallow, and you have to water it and mulch it and make sure that nothing's going to disturb it, hopefully.
Not many people even really know how to plant a tree, and you're not really going to learn something like that in a classroom. So to get the kids out of the classroom and out here and actually doing work instead of just talking about it is something that they're going to remember for the rest of their life.
7,500 plants to put into this area, and we've committed for a week and a day. They have to decide. You know, are we going to break up into groups of 4? How many people do we have today? Can we do teams? Could we go faster and be effective and efficient if we only do it in pairs? Or should we do it in 5? Can we do it more like an assembly line where one person digs, one person plants, one person composts, one person mulches? And we've done that too, and one person comes behind and waters. That's huge.
The program does a lot of community service stuff. 4 different types of birds that live with here, but they're really rare in New Hampshire. I have to get up at 5:30 to catch the bus. It's fun. It really is fun because you get to get dirty. It's nice giving back.
The kids they're excellent. I'm always impressed and surprised. Well, not really surprised anymore, but very impressed at how motivated they are and how they really happy kids to work with, and they don't have any bad attitudes, and they're hilarious, so that's always fun. It's always a good time, and makes the work go by quickly. You know, we get a lot done.
And then being able to, of course, to have I refer to them as kids, young adults, whatever, come in and help with this project. I really enjoy being out in the field.
You learn a lot about yourself. Are you a leader? Are you a follower? Can you put in an 8-hour day? You know, there's just so much that they learn, and I think attitude is everything. These guys are learning that even if they don't love every single thing they do, if they can somehow have a positive attitude about it, it really does make the job easier, and it makes the day go faster.
We wouldn't have been able to do it without NRCS funding. It just wouldn't happen.
I'm really grateful to NRCS too, and the Nature Conservancy too, putting some stock in us, allowing them to trust Nell's judgment, I guess, and we've been working with them long enough. I think they're okay with letting us do some work too.
I mean, we love working with these guys. You know, it's something that's consistent over the years, and so it's a project we know really well, and we can add in some of the science behind it and some of the ecology of the habitat here, and so that's nice to be consistent and do that every year.
It's been great. It's happy to be able to provide plants and do some installations in Carroll County.
To protect this habitat was very, very important to us.
When I get a chance to work on a project that has such significance ecologically, it makes me really like my job a lot. I feel very fulfilled to be working on a project that has significance really globally.
It's been a huge success, a major success.
Makes me feel good.
The thought of planting trees and them growing, and it's just awesome.
Knowing that in a couple years it's not going to be all desolated and scrubby, it's going to be nice and lively, and that makes me happy.
It's nice giving back.